You've worn the masks, played the roles, and yet here you stand, stripped bare. You've chased the dreams, poured your heart into every moment, but the echo of your true self feels distant, like a whisper in a crowded room. You expected authenticity to bring you closer to joy, yet all that remains is a lingering sense of disconnection, a shadow that dances just beyond your reach. You felt the exhilaration of being alive, but now it's as if the colors have faded, leaving a monochrome landscape where passion once thrived. You wonder, is this the price of being real? Carl Jung warned us, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. But what if that journey reveals something you didn't anticipate? What if the very essence of you is both a gift and a burden? Are you ready to confront the truth of your own existence? You were caught in a cycle, a relentless hustle, conditioned by the whispers of family and society that told you what it meant to be worthy. And now, in this strange twilight of your existence, you feel the dissonance swirling within, a conflict between who you've been and who you yearn to be. This feeling of confusion, this pervasive numbness, is not a flaw in your design. No, it's a necessary phase, a liminal space where old identities crumble and new truths begin to emerge. Imagine standing at the edge of a forest, the trees thick and dark, representing the old narratives that have shaped your life. You can feel the weight of all those expectations pressing down. Yet at the same time, there's a whisper in the wind, a promise of something more profound lying just beyond the shadows. In this moment of stillness, what if you allowed yourself to embrace the uncertainty? What if you recognized that this discomfort is a sign of transformation? The unraveling of your constructed self is not something to fear. It's an invitation to step into the unknown, just as the caterpillar must dissolve before becoming a butterfly. You too are in the midst of a metamorphosis. The echoes of your past, the identity built on external validation, are fading, making way for a more authentic version of you. Carl Jung spoke of the persona, the mask we wear to navigate the world, and the self that lies beneath. When the persona begins to crack, it can feel like losing your grip on reality. But what if this disintegration is not the end, but rather a profound awakening? The numbness you feel is the old shell of who you've been, breaking apart to reveal the essence of who you truly are. It's the silence before the symphony, the darkness before dawn. As you stand in this space, remember that awakening is often a death before rebirth. It's about shedding layers, peeling back the illusions that once felt so solid. The path to authenticity is riddled with discomfort, yet it is precisely in this discomfort that you will find your strength. You are being emptied, but not in a way that signifies defeat. Instead, you are being readied for reconstruction, for the emergence of a self that aligns with your deepest truths. So, allow yourself to feel the numbness, the confusion, the chaos swirling around you. Know that it's a sign that something old is passing away, making room for the new. It's okay to not have all the answers right now. In this space of uncertainty, you are not malfunctioning, you are simply in the process of becoming. Embrace the quiet, the solitude, and trust that this journey, however daunting, is leading you back to yourself. You are on the brink of transformation, and while the path may be unclear, the destination is the most authentic version of you waiting patiently to emerge. What if this feeling of disconnection is not a flaw, but a necessary passage? Carl Jung spoke of individuation, a journey where the self is revealed through the shadows we often fear to face. You are in between identities, caught in the delicate dance of transformation. This is not a time to rush or to resist. It is a sacred moment of unraveling. Imagine for a moment the cocoon. Within its confines, the caterpillar dissolves, transforming into something unrecognizable. This stage, though uncomfortable, is essential for the emergence of the butterfly. In this space of darkness, you may feel lost, But you are not without purpose. Here in the silence, the true essence of who you are begins to whisper, urging you to listen. Jung's wisdom reminds us that the path to wholeness lies not in the eradication of our shadows, but in embracing them. Each doubt, each fear, each fragment of the self you have shunned is not an enemy, but a teacher. The pain you feel now is not a sign of failure, it is the door to deeper understanding. It is a call to awareness, a nudge toward the self that has always been there, waiting to be acknowledged. Consider the hermit in the cave, seeking solitude not as a retreat from life, but as an invitation to meet the self. In the stillness of that cave, the noise of the world fades, revealing the quiet truths we often overlook. Here, you are invited to pause, to reflect, and to remember that the journey is not about perfection, but about integration. This moment of discontent, this ache in your heart, is the alchemical process at work, turning the lead of your past into the gold of your future. It is not the end of who you are, but the beginning of who you are becoming. The ego may feel like it is dying, but in its funeral lies the promise of rebirth. This is the sacred cycle of life, where endings become beginnings and despair transforms into hope. You are not alone in this. Many have walked this path before you, feeling the weight of their own shadows while reaching for the light. In the embrace of uncertainty, remember that you are part of a grand tapestry of existence, woven together by shared experiences and collective dreams. As you navigate this terrain, hold on to the understanding that this pain is a precursor to clarity. It is the fire that forges resilience, sculpting your spirit into a more authentic expression of itself. Each moment of discomfort is a brushstroke on the canvas of your life, painting a masterpiece that reflects your true essence. So, let the cocoon wrap around you for a while longer. Allow the transformation to unfold in its own time. Embrace the shadows, for they are not just parts of you, they are integral to your journey. Remember, you are not lost. You are simply in between, on the threshold of something beautiful, something true. In this space, you are not just surviving, you are awakening to the possibility of becoming. But why does it still feel so heavy? What is this invisible weight pressing down on you? This is where we encounter the shadow. According to Carl Jung, the shadow is the repressed self, the fragments of your being that you've pushed into the dark corners of your psyche. It's the part of you that carries traits, traumas, or truths you have deemed unacceptable. In your quest for acceptance, you buried your fire to survive, but in doing so, you forgot where you placed it. This shadow manifests as emotional numbness, self-sabotage, chronic fatigue, and an all-consuming sense of shame. You might feel disconnected from your desires, as if they've been locked behind an impenetrable wall. This isn't merely the absence of emotion. It's the result of too much emotion, bottled up and desperate for release. Your heart aches in silence, echoing the memories of dreams and passions that once fueled your spirit. This heaviness isn't a burden to be ashamed of. It's a testament to the depth of your experience, a reflection of the inner chaos that has been yearning for acknowledgement. When you take a moment to sit with this discomfort, you might notice the fog surrounding your thoughts and feelings isn't just an obstacle. It's a veil, a protective shroud that has formed around the memories you've tried so hard to forget. You see, this numbness is a defense mechanism, an attempt to shield you from the pain of confronting your own truths. But in that protection, you've lost the ability to feel, to connect, to care as you once did. Jung believed that integrating the shadow is essential for wholeness. It's not about banishing this hidden part of yourself. It's about recognizing it, inviting it back into the light. Allow yourself to remember those buried parts. They are not your enemies. They are your teachers, guiding you toward a fuller understanding of who you are. This isn't just fog, it's memory, attempting to return through the cracks of your carefully managed life. As you embark on this journey of self-discovery, know that you are not alone. Many have traversed this path, feeling the weight of the unseen. Acknowledge the feelings that arise when you confront your shadow. They are valid, and they signify the beginning of a healing process. Embrace the discomfort, for it is your ally in the quest for authenticity. Now, as you sit with this revelation, consider what it means to accept the parts of yourself that you've long ignored. This is merely the beginning. The next step is to explore how this inner split fractures your identity and choices, and how embracing the full spectrum of your being can lead to transformation. What might be waiting for you on the other side of this shadow? The invitation stands. Delve deeper, illuminate the darkness, and reclaim the power that resides within you. It fears the unfamiliar terrain of personal truth, urging you to stay within the confines of comfort, where certainty reigns. Meanwhile, another part of you, the emerging self, whispers new truths that are unclear yet undeniably present. This self calls for growth, urging you to embrace the unknown, to step beyond the limitations that have held you captive. But these two parts are now in conflict, neither fully in control. You want to move forward, but something holds you back. Your body is here, yet your soul feels tethered to a past that no longer serves you. You long for silence, yet feel the anxious stirrings of stillness, as if the very act of being alone with your thoughts might unravel the fabric of who you've always known yourself to be. This tension echoes the core philosophies of thinkers like Carl Jung, who spoke of the crisis that arises before integration, the struggle between persona and self. It resonates with Nietzsche's notion of the Apollonian and Dionysian struggle, where the abyss of authenticity beckons, challenging you to confront your deepest truths. The Boer Mate highlights this divide too, framing it as the battle between your true self and the adapted self created in the wake of trauma. As you navigate this turmoil, the emotional cost becomes increasingly apparent. You may feel exhausted, as if being pulled into directions, a human tug-of-war between who you were and who you are becoming. Self-doubt creeps in like a thief in the night, whispering, "Which part is really me?" Shame may wash over you as you find yourself regressing into old behaviors, clinging to a comfort zone that feels both familiar and suffocating. You may find yourself grieving the version of self that is fading, mourning the loss of an identity that once felt safe, yet hollow. But let me validate this split. It is not dysfunction. It is the breaking of an inner shell, the painful yet necessary process of metamorphosis. You are not failing, you are mid-transformation. Recognize that this inner war is sacred, a rite of passage in your journey towards wholeness. It is in the recognition of this tension, and in the acceptance of both sides of yourself, the ego that seeks to protect and the self that yearns to grow, that you begin to find the doorway to alignment. As you stand at this precipice, prepare yourself for the journey ahead. This tension, though painful, is not the end. It is the beginning, the fertile ground from which integration will emerge. Embrace this moment of disarray. It is the precursor to clarity, the catalyst for reconstruction. In the chaos of this inner conflict, you are being called to reclaim your truth, to honor both the shadow and the light within you. This is where transformation begins, setting the stage for the next steps in your journey towards authenticity. In the realm of psychology, Carl Jung taught us that the unconscious often whispers truths that the conscious mind struggles to hear. It's a dialogue between the ego, which clings to comfortable narratives, and the self, yearning for authenticity. It's a sacred conversation where the shadows of our being emerge, not as adversaries, but as teachers guiding us towards wholeness. Imagine your current state of confusion as inner reorganization, a chaotic symphony where every dissonant note is essential for the harmony that will follow. Apathy, rather than a void, signals a new set of values forming, like seeds germinating in the dark soil of your psyche. Guilt becomes a voice from your soul, urging you to shed false roles that no longer serve you. And that emptiness, it is simply the fertile ground where truth will grow, waiting for the light of awareness to nurture it. You are not lost. You are composting old selves into fertile soul. This is psychological alchemy, the process where pain is transformed into presence, where your struggles become the raw materials for a more profound existence. Each moment of discomfort is evidence of healing in motion, a sign that you are engaging with the depths of your being. No transformation happens in comfort. Growth often wears the mask of grief, and when the soul begins to reorganize you, it can feel like falling apart. But this is merely a deeper form of coming together, a reassembly of your essence into a more authentic form. As you stand in the midst of this sacred mess, remember that integration is not a race. It is a slow, non-linear journey where every step forward may feel like a step back. Allow yourself to rest in this space of fragmentation. It is here that the alchemy occurs, where the chaos serves as the crucible for your rebirth. Embrace the discomfort, for it is a sign of the process unfolding, a testament to the strength of your spirit. Prepare yourself for the next phase, where new values will emerge, clarity will dawn, and alignment will take shape. This journey is not about fixing what's broken, but about honoring the complexity of your being. Embrace the full spectrum of your humanity, both light and shadow, for therein lies the path to true power. Allow this time of integration to guide you gently into the next chapter of your life. The chaos you feel is not a signal of failure, it is the sacred initiation into your most authentic self. Trust the process, listen to the whispers of your soul, and prepare to rise anew, more vibrant and whole than ever before. You're building a new normal that honors your truth. The life you were chasing doesn't fit anymore. That's not a failure, it's an invitation to explore a new path. As you step into this phase of transformation, you start to realize how identity forms differently after an awakening or rupture. An ego-built identity often revolves around roles, achievements, and the approval of others. However, a soul-built identity emerges from resonance, presence, and alignment with your true self. This new identity becomes more fluid, authentic, and intuitive, allowing you to navigate life with a sense of purpose that resonates deeply within. Think of it this way: you're designing a home for your soul, not a costume for your persona. Instead of wearing masks to fit in, you're learning to become transparent, revealing the essence of who you are. What once fueled your ambitions no longer ignites your passion. Now, you're nourished by what feels true to your inner being. This journey of self-reconstruction aligns closely with the insights of Carl Jung, who spoke of individuation, the process of becoming the self. It's about returning to authenticity, as Gabor Mate would say, and engaging in self-creation, as Nietzsche emphasized. This is your opportunity to reflect on how you want to express yourself in the world. Consider the shifts in your values, choices, and motivations. You may find yourself saying no to relationships that demand constant performance, prioritizing connections that nourish your spirit. Leaving jobs that contradict your values becomes a liberating act rather than a daunting one. You might find joy in creating, resting, or serving, not to prove your worth, but to express your essence. You'll feel drawn to new hobbies, environments, or conversations, exploring them without the need to justify your interests. This is what real freedom looks like, not chaos, but conscious creation. You're not reinventing yourself. You're revealing yourself, peeling back the layers that no longer serve you. Embracing this new identity may feel daunting at times, but remember, the process is nonlinear. It's messy, authentic, and deeply liberating. As you move forward, allow yourself to celebrate these changes. Each step you take toward this soul-aligned self is an affirmation of your journey. The courage to embrace who you are at your core is a gift, both to yourself and to the world around you. Prepare yourself for the next phase, where this new self begins to connect with the world again. This connection will unfold through purpose, service, or expression, bringing with it a renewed sense of fulfillment. Embrace the uncertainty of this journey, for it is in this space of exploration that you will find the richness of life waiting for you. Your new normal is not just a destination. It is an ongoing adventure that invites you to share your authentic self with the world. As you step into this new phase of your journey, external engagement unfolds in a slower, yet deeper rhythm. You find yourself more selective in your relationships, but the honesty that permeates these connections is refreshing. You're no longer caught in the frantic dance of proving yourself. Instead, you participate with authenticity. Carl Jung spoke of the self interacting with the collective, heralding the archetypal hero's return to share wisdom with the tribe. You embody this wisdom now not as a performance, but as a lived truth. Your authenticity becomes the foundation of your relationships, echoing the insights of Gabor Mate. You discover that life is no longer a stage for submission, as Friedrich Nietzsche suggested, but a canvas for self-expression. You speak more truthfully, even if your voice shakes. You create without asking for permission. You walk away from roles that no longer honor your essence, embracing the peace found in simplicity. No longer hungry for applause, you find fulfillment in being present, in the richness of your own experience. You are no longer reacting to life. You are responding with presence. Your life transforms into art, not an argument. You've stopped asking, "What do they think of me?" and started asking, "What wants to move through me?" This shift invites new relational patterns into your life. You attract individuals who resonate with your truth, while gently letting go of those who thrived on your performance. You lead by living, not by persuading. In this space, your truth becomes medicine, but only if you share it. The journey is sacred. Each interaction is infused with the essence of who you are. This is where healing becomes transmission, where your experiences illuminate the path for others. You might find yourself volunteering in a cause that aligns with your values, not out of obligation, but from a deep-seated desire to contribute. In your work, creativity flows effortlessly as you engage in projects that resonate with your soul, where the outcome is secondary to the joy of creation itself. You realize that service is not a sacrifice. It's an expression of your true self, a way to connect deeply with the world around you. As you navigate this new landscape, you begin to notice the synchronicities that guide your path. The universe responds to your alignment with signs, nudging you toward opportunities and connections that feel meant to be. You embody a symbolic life where every moment is an invitation to engage with the divine flow of existence. Prepare yourself for step 9, wherein our guidance beckons you toward a life rich with purpose, a soulful participation that transcends the ordinary. Embrace the journey ahead, for it promises a deeper connection to yourself and the world. Your truth, when shared, transforms not just you, but the fabric of the collective, weaving a tapestry of healing and authenticity for all. This is the symbolic life, a realm that Carl Jung illuminated, where the psyche dances not just with what is seen, but with what is felt, understood metaphorically, archetypically, and synchronistically. Here, life is not merely a series of events to be dissected. It transforms into a rich tapestry woven with meaning, where every thread holds a story, a lesson, a truth. In this state, the symbols of our lives begin to reveal themselves. A dream might come to you, stirring an emotional insight long buried, or a recurring number might emerge, echoing internal shifts that resonate with your journey. You find that gut feelings lead you to right actions, guiding your steps along a path that feels preordained yet uniquely your own. Nature speaks in colors, sounds, and textures, resonating with something deep within your soul, urging you to listen, to connect. Navigating this new perception requires stillness, a moment to pause, breathe, and attune yourself to the whispers of your inner world. It demands self-trust, a willingness to embrace the unknown, to not know intellectually but to feel deeply, drawing wisdom from a deeper self that transcends the ego. Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are," and in this sacred space, you begin to embody this truth. As you immerse yourself in the symbolic life, you realize that the unconscious becomes a creative partner, engaging in a dialogue where symbols, not spreadsheets, guide your understanding of existence. You stop asking for signs, for they reveal themselves everywhere, in the mundane and the extraordinary. Life ceases to be a problem to solve and transforms into a poem to translate, rich with nuance and depth. This journey is not passive, it's a participatory dance with the universe. The symbols speak, inviting you to respond not with perfection, but with authenticity. You learn to embrace the mystery, to honor the subtlety of your experiences, and to trust in the profound intelligence that is at play. The symbolic life validates your intuitive insights, your inner vision, and the patterns that emerge in your days, anchoring you in a soulful state of being. As you navigate this terrain, you prepare the emotional ground for what lies ahead. Step 10. Contribution and legacy. You begin to see how your lived experiences can be shared creatively, truthfully, and consciously. Your journey becomes a wellspring of inspiration, not just for yourself, but for those around you. You are called to express your truth, to weave your story into the fabric of collective consciousness, where authenticity brings healing and connection. In this sacred interplay of life, your symbolic existence unfolds, illuminating the path forward. You are not merely a spectator, you are an active creator, a participant in the grand design. Embrace this evolution, for it is here that you will find your voice, your contribution, and the legacy that speaks to the heart of humanity. Now your deepest truth is ready to be shared, not as performance, but as presence. True contribution isn't about perfection or applause, it's about showing up fully, imperfectly, and consistently. Embrace this moment as a turning point where you step into the fullness of your authentic self. Consider how this authentic expression can manifest in your life. You might find yourself launching creative projects that reflect your soul's voice, pouring your experiences into art, writing, or music that resonates with others, healing and helping those around you through the wisdom gained from your own lived experiences. Becomes a powerful way to connect, whether you teach, mentor, or simply hold space for others. Your presence becomes a gift that nurtures community. Remember, everyday kindness and integrity in your relationships and work can create waves of positive change in the world. Drawing from Carl Jung's wisdom, we understand that individuation culminates in service to the collective. When your true self emerges, it bridges the gap between your inner world and the outer experience, allowing you to contribute meaningfully. The teachings of Gabor Mate emphasize the importance of compassionate presence and authenticity in our communities, while Nietzsche encourages us to embrace life as a creative act of becoming. These philosophies remind us that our true essence is intertwined with the fabric of the world around us. Yet, as you navigate this path, it's natural to encounter fears and blocks. You may grapple with the fear of judgment, rejection, or the feeling that you are not enough, resistance to vulnerability, or the temptation to retreat back into comfort zones can feel overwhelming. Acknowledge these feelings without allowing them to define your journey. Your unique story, your lessons, your gifts are needed now more than ever. When you step into your truth, you light a path that others can follow. Legacy isn't about grandeur, it's about the ripples your presence creates. Every interaction infused with your authenticity contributes to a greater tapestry of human experience. The small, everyday actions rooted in presence and integrity weave a legacy that speaks volumes. This isn't a finish line, it's a new beginning. Keep growing, keep expressing, and keep serving from the fullness of your awakened self. As you continue on this journey, remember that each step is a brushstroke on the canvas of your life. View your existence as a work of art where every emotion, every connection, and every act of service contributes to the masterpiece that is uniquely you. Let this inspire you to engage more deeply with your community, to share your truth, and to embrace the creative act of living. In this new chapter, invite others to join you to celebrate authenticity and to nurture a collective spirit of growth and connection. Together, let's create a world where every soul can thrive, contributing their unique light to the universe. Embrace this journey with heart-led action, and watch as your life unfolds into a rich narrative of purpose and connection.